Good morning. We are back at it again. I'll be continuing to work on the smokestack side. I'm gonna end up just cutting it with the grinding wheel again, like we did the doors. Get that whole section open, and then measure out the plates and things that we'll be using to get that as close to ready for Alex to weld as possible. And then more on the doors, just keep welding out the outsides. We're also looking at cleaning up the insides of the doors, because some of them, like this one for example, doesn't sit quite flat, but we figured once we get the outsides welded up, then we'll grind down the insides and then kind of get it all sealed up tightly. What I mocked up for smokestack in. That's what we're going to be cutting it out of. So I drew some rough dimensions. I'm going to end up drawing the two rectangles there. What will happen is we're going to be going from like here on the bottom over to about here, and I want to get what that is. And also I can put in the roundness of the stack, so we can cut that off as well. We're going to have it as close as possible. And then same with the top. And we'll have some left over. This is a 4x4 seat. So hopefully we'll have enough to put the hinge mechanism on there and everything. Alex is welding away. Got some big beads over here. Check out this door. Welded up tight. This one's all the way done then, right?
Yeah, outside the handle.
Outside the handles. We do have to do something about those. And these two are left. What I've been working on, I'm not sure if it showed up very well from that time lapse. It's the sun and stuff. But if you get it from this angle, you can see. So that's going to be our the bottom of it, and then so these corners are going to be cut. That corner will be left out. So this piece right there is all we want, and then we should have room for at least another one. And then the two side pieces will go. These ones will cover the span of that over here. Should have room. Just trying to figure out the best way to cut them out of here so we can use the leftovers. Well, we're gonna go eat some lunch. Back to the booth. So while Alex is working on that, I'm taking a break from the smokestack because I'm gonna need some of his help on it. For welding and everything. So I'm working on the handles and the doors. This is my first mock-up. So what we're looking at is something that's going to go beneath the door. So when you're grabbing it, you'll have, you know, lift it up something like this and up. It'll be a lot easier to go higher with it as well. So we did this one. I'm gonna do 2 other variations on it. I'm gonna go farther out this way, and I'm gonna make one that's gonna go lower. And see how those compare. I think this is what we settled on. So it'll sit here, hopefully straight up and down. When we look to the side, instead of have it up properly, something like that. Don't mind the double one in the middle. I got a little too close there. So there's 6 of them that we can cut out, that I will not be cutting out. I'm going to work on cleaning up the door frame, whatever you want to call it. We have like a grinder, sander type of thing. And then clean up some of the underside of the door. Like that one right there, I'll grind down. Do what I can. Try to make the door sit a little prettier while Alex is finishing up the welding. Wrapping it up for the day. We got all 3 of these welded, or Alex did, I should say, all the way around. Plan for today, we're going to start over here on the smokestack. We're going to cut out that piece that I drew out yesterday, and then I'll work on getting that lined up, and we'll get the bottom archway drawn and cut out as well. I measured it wide.
A good 1/4 inch, like you're saying. I think that's good. Because by the time we clean this up, bevel it, I think we'll be all right.
Yeah. So my thought was just go under there, trace that line, and cut it, so then inside the tank there's not that flat edge. But I like it.
I might give, well, I don't want a lip on the inside, but I don't want to cut this too skinny on the side too.
Looks pretty good on there. So there's not much space in the back and in the front, which is how we had planned. These things are pretty skinny.
Get the box in there. It will be pretty sturdy.
Yeah, it's gonna be sturdy. But Alex is going to work on getting this ready to tack in. I'll be over here getting the bottom buffed and all that stuff to get it ready. First piece is in there, tacked in at least. We can still move it up and down a little if we need to, keep it level, but what I'm thinking is set the little stack on there, see how it'll fit, measure the top piece, and then we can get the sides in as well before we fasten everything with the full weld. Doesn't stick out all that much. Bending. So a little bit on the outside, which is probably good.
It's also lean back a little because the plate's flexible.
And we have a little space on the top there. Got some more measuring done. About to get some cutting done. I think that'll line up pretty nicely. If not, Alex measured it. Pretty cool. We let it cool down for a little while.
Shower up there yet?
I haven't tried it. Let's do it. How's it fit?
Good.
There.
Oh yeah.
Look at that.
A little.
Oh.
Nice.
There it is.
Done pretty well. Over here, put the bevel on top, so should get some pretty good penetration. I don't want this falling off.
Very nice. Looks pretty good if I do say so myself. You can see the little gaps, but nothing some welding can't fix. So we have the sides marked for what I'm going to be measuring and then cutting. And then we also marked the smokestack where we'll cut the opening. So Alex will be cutting it there. I'm going to mark and then have Alex cut those. And then it should be open to get air through and then seal up the sides. There it is with the cut pipe in there. And then we already cut these sides, but we cut it to sit on the outside, which if it's sitting on the outside, it's just going to be sticking out a bit. And this end wouldn't look the greatest. So what we're thinking is we're going to cut it down about a 1/2 inch so it slides right into that slot. So it'll stay more flush, and then that way it'll look like it's more of a nice smooth one-piece connection from that to the back connection there. But overall, I like it. He's recutting it right now. We're about ready to get the main setup tacked in. So those two down there are the side pieces. Have the edges of them beveled down and cleaned up. See that angle? Same thing here with the smokestack. Cleaned up there. And this one's already been ground down. So we're just gonna put it in place, tack it up for tonight. Hopefully not get rained out. It's been kind of spitting all day. There it is, tacked up.
It looks better once we get the 7-footer, 6.5 footer.
Extended another 6.5 feet. What we were doing at the end was it was just off that bottom one by a little bit. So hopefully now it's straight up and down.
Side to side is pretty good.
Yeah, side to side. My concern was I just didn't want it 9 feet in the air and then have it be a little crooked.
Probably gonna end up bending these top corners in just a touch, just to get a better fit up there.
Yeah, there's a little gap, but nothing a torch can't fix. Here's a little look from the inside. So that's gonna be like dead smack in the middle of the grate. I'll take it.